Hey guys, this is Lala Legacy, and welcome back to another episode of the second reproduction. So we are now starting on the very last route of the game, which is with Jin. So, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button because that would mean the whole world to me. And if you like this, or if you like this video afterwards, hit that like button as well. All right, let's get into this. Okay, I also skipped ahead to where we need to be. Okay, what should I do tonight? We're gonna go out. Of course. We are gonna go to the brothel. This was a golden chance for us to learn more about the enemy. There was no way I was going to let it go to waste. With that in mind, we began to comb our way through the capital, but this place is... While Lizette and I were investigating, a weird yet somewhat glamorous building had caught my eye. Judging from the signboard and the customers standing around the entrance, it looked like one of those seedy places many refer to as a brothel. Purchasing a woman's body for pleasure? How disgusting! As expected from a race consumed by lust, why would a man even want to visit such a place anyway? It truly baffles me. Don't you agree, Lizette? Yeah, I don't know why either. Haha, excellent, Lizette. You're a model heterodoxist. Still, I'm sure being serious all the time would tire you out. In fact, I've never seen you with another girl before. You should go and have fun dating a girl you like once in a while. Although, you don't have time for that right now, do you? I'm sorry. No, I'm having plenty of fun right now. In fact, you could almost say I'm having the time of my life. Really? What are you two doing here? Ah, you bastard! Were you following us? Now, don't be too hasty with that sword. You won't be allowed to go in like that, you know. Even my legs tremble with fear whenever I encounter Madame Alina. Huh. Are you going to go in? Why else would I be here? Aren't you planning on doing the same? We're just investigating the area. There's no way in hell I'm stepping foot in that disgusting place. Really? But your pet doggy seems really eager. I think he wants to go in. Well, I'm only faithful to, I'm not interested in that kind of thing. My, enduring is bad for your body, you know. How about I introduce you to a girl I know in there? She looks a lot like your beloved princess. Eh? Don't joke around. Do you really think Lizette would be interested in something like that? Yup, I do think so. In fact, if you scrape away that noble mask of his, your beloved little knight is actually a... I will not let you make a fool out of Lizette! What a stubborn woman, as expected of a princess. Don't ever put Lizette on the same level as you! I didn't. I wouldn't want to be compared to a weak-kneed coward like him. He can't even speak up. You bastard! Gardas' taunting finally hits its mark. I placed my hand on the hilt of my sword, trying to warn him off. But an inappropriate smile floated onto his lips. He was sneering at me. The words, "Do you really think I'll be defeated by the likes of you?" scrawled across his arrogant face. I glared at him, trying to be intimidating. What's so funny? But he wasn't shaken. Not even for a second. His eyes narrowed into slits in a bewitching manner as he gazed behind his blade and whispered, "Oh no, I just thought about how beautiful you look when our blades clash." Huh? Even though I knew we would cross swords the moment we met, I still couldn't help but want to get closer to you. Is it because of the blood that flows through my veins? What are you talking? I looked back into his dark pupils, unsure what he meant. Before I got a chance to ask him, Gardas struck my sword away and replied with a curt, "That's all for today." I quickly composed myself and glared back at him, but Gardas had already vanished into the brothel. Having our fight cancelled so quickly left me confused and dissatisfied. I recalled his eyes the instant our blades clashed. There was this odd, buzzing sensation lingering in my chest. Was it leftover adrenaline from the battle? That damn demon lord? For some reason, I felt like cursing his name whenever I could. Oh, I almost forgot about Lizette. I turned around, but Lizette wasn't there. Had he gone somewhere else? Well, that did explain his lack of presence while Gardas was here. As I looked around, wondering where he could have gone, I suddenly spotted him not too far away. Let me go! Aw, don't be so cruel. If it's you, my dear, then I'll serve you to the best of my abilities. Hey, don't hog him, right, handsome? I'm much, much better than her. So, how about you come with me instead? Get your filthy hands off him, the pair of you. You see, I'm actually the best girl in the house, not those two fakers. I'm high maintenance, but for a nice guy like you, I'll... Hey, you're getting your hands off, or you get your hands off him. Same to you, I found him first. So, it's not like he called out to you two or anything. Give it a rest. I've already told you I'm not going in. By the looks of things, Lizette had been spotted as a potential customer and was now surrounded by several eager prostitutes. He was planning on watching them for a little longer, I think I already said that. I was planning on watching them for a little longer, but Lizette's troubled face suddenly met mine. Did he want me to help him? I thought that at first, but Lizette's troubled expression worsened, and he lowered his head to avoid eye contact. I guess he didn't want my help in a situation like this. The women took advantage of his bewilderment, closing in on him and rubbing their bodies against his arm and chest. That's right! I could vaguely remember Lizette being popular with the girls back in our kingdom. Especially after he became a knight. He was literally flooded with young noblewomen at all the balls we attended. I even heard that one of them proposed to him using her father as a middleman. Being both a knight and an honest person must have made Lizette a very appealing marriage candidate. But why isn't Lizette married yet? An image of Lizette being in love with some beautiful woman suddenly popped into my head. For some reason, it didn't seem interesting to me, or rather, I even felt slightly put off by it. Why? And now that I thought about it, I even felt irritated by the women surrounding Lizette right now. It's probably because he'd kept me waiting. Yes, that must be why. Move, I'm the one who brought this man. Oh, really? That's no fun at all. Once I stepped forward and interfered, the women finally left, grumbling to themselves. Seriously, Lizette, what do you think you're doing? Even if they are just women, letting your guard down around demons could get you killed. Yes, I understand that. Huh. Oh well, being kind to everyone is one of your virtues anyway. Don't worry, you don't have to change. I'll always be here to protect you. Lizette? I'm truly sorry for my incompetence. Even though I should be the one protecting you, I always end up being a burden. No, that's not what I meant. You've always done your job well. I'm the one too incompetent to defeat the Demon Lord. No, that's not... Oh wait, no, I read them in wrong voices. That's okay though. Lizette? I'm the one who's incompetent, Princess. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have to go through all this. I should have just died back then. If I wasn't here, then you wouldn't have to suffer. Even though I knew that, I still... What are you talking about? You're the one who vowed to stay by my side no matter what. Don't tell me you forgot about that. I haven't given up yet because you're here. I could keep going if you're with me. So please, don't say sad things like I should have died. Not ever. You're not just my knight, but my best friend too. Best friend, huh? Thank you very much. As wide as the world is, I must be the only knight to have ever been called a friend by you, Princess. Yeah, you're the only one. I'm honored. A weird feeling suddenly sank through my stomach. Lizette's smile felt unusually empty. After everything we just talked about, I couldn't help but feel uneasy. Alright, now we go to the pub. Welcome. Drink, wine, and chat. The picture on the wall. Oh yes, that's a picture of the sun god and moon goddess. Normally the moon goddess is bowing before the sun god, so paintings like these showing the opposite are quite rare. Oh, excuse me. It's not so much rare as... Well, the moon goddess was banished from the world of darkness, so believing in her makes you a heretic, doesn't it? I heard the ancient kingdom of Zarias got punished for it long before Deathrite took its place. Aren't you afraid of the sun god's wrath? Lunaria, the goddess who governs the moon, and Ladula, the god who rules the sun, created our world and fought one another millions of years ago. They're both probably far, far away by now, us beings long forgotten. If the moon goddess still remembered us, she'd never just sit there and let her children, the demon race, suffer the way we do now. I'll come again soon. See you then. A whole day goes by so quickly. I should go to bed. My goodness, buddy! My cat is meowing somewhere. Looks like I won. You're not bad. Not bad at all. But trying to assassinate me all by yourself is nothing short of foolish. If two of you can't handle me, then one doesn't even stand a chance. Shut up! I'll never let the princess go anywhere near you again! Huh, such a jealous little puppy. Puppy? You bastard! You're too naive. You declared your presence before you even tried to attack. Maybe I should teach you a few things about assassinating someone. Don't be stupid! What kind of assassin gets taught by his own target? But you'll never complete your mission without a few pointers. You? Don't make fun of us! We don't need your filthy demon hands helping us out. I'm just giving you some advice. If you hesitate to attack me, then you're just hindering your beloved princess, you know. Well, I don't mind if you want to stay in my kingdom a little longer. Gives me a chance to get to know you both better. Shut up! Shut up! How dare you talk about the princess with that vile mouth of yours? Yes, that's more like it. Lizette! Princess? Well, well, looks like your mistress just arrived. Aren't you a lucky little puppy? Gardas, you? I didn't land a single clean hit this time. Keep up the good work. I'll look forward to your next attempt. He runs pretty fast for a king. Are you okay, Lizette? Yes, I'm sorry, Princess. Don't worry about it. I heard the sound of swords clashing, so I came rushing over as fast as I could. But Lizette, why did you go after him all by yourself? It's not like you at all. It's because I didn't want you anywhere near him. Sorry, can you say that again? Oh, no, it's nothing. Really? Oh well, we're out of our depth if we fight him one-on-one. We need to think of a good strategy. Yes. Alright, Death Ride, second month. Yep, we're gonna skip this scene because we've already seen it. If you haven't already seen it, go watch my first playthrough of this, which was Gardas' route. So tomorrow's a day off in the Demon Kingdom, huh? I should go to sleep. Here we go. Okay, what should I do tonight? Go out? What are your plans for today, princess? I'll probably investigate the west side of the city. Excellent. There you are. You're both coming with me today. There's nothing excellent about that. I grimaced. We bumped into the worst possible person on our way out. Gardas probably saw my expression, but he didn't react to it. You should be delighted. I'm inviting you both out to a banquet tonight. Delighted? I'd love to meet a woman who'd actually go, "Oh wow, I'm so happy," and fall at your feet at such a proposal. I mean, really. Oh wow, I'm so happy. Thank you, Your Majesty. In the end, we were dragged along anyway, and we took our seats at a banquet populated by an ironic number of women. Even though Gardas had been so insistent, he paid no attention to us and sat with a large group of women instead, drinking wine and laughing with them. What was the point in bringing us here if he's just going to ignore us? Unfortunately for me, Gardas overheard my complaint. What's wrong? Would you like me to pay more attention to you? Nobody said anything about... If you're willing to admit it, then I'll treat you with the utmost care. Come, take a seat beside me. Absolutely not! Such a dishonest person. Then again, if you want a seat coated with your own blood, then I'll gladly oblige. Even though you wouldn't go through with it? Of course I would! A woman beside Gardas pressed her shapely bosom against him, as if trying to draw his attention away from me. This wasn't the best time to get angry, but I couldn't help but feel furious at the sight. The woman smiled triumphantly, pleased with the angry expression on my face. Lord Gardas, why dine on unripe fruit when you can have some mature, fresh fruit right here? The woman placed a red berry between her soft lips. What was she trying to do? As Lizette and I looked on in bewilderment, Gardas took the woman into his arms and... What? Gardas took the berry into his own mouth and plunged deeper, indulging in the woman's lips as if they were fruit themselves. I see. Just as you said, it really is delicious fresh fruit. It deserves to be eaten. Gardas' sickeningly flirtatious voice left the whole room in silence. If it felt this bad to Lizette and I, who were sitting a fair distance away, I dread to think how the women sitting near them were feeling. Still, it was extremely bold of them to do such a thing in front of their enemies. I didn't feel angry, just humiliated, and I lowered my head in shame. I quickly glanced beside me and saw that Lizette had done the same. I'm glad I invited you two. Your reactions never cease to amuse me. And how curious. You're behaving as if you've never fallen in love before. I don't need to fall in love. And I assume the princess's lapdog has never held a woman either. I live for the sole purpose of serving the princess. I desire nothing more than to stay by her side. Lizette's clear voice was as firm as steel and made me feel really embarrassed. I was about to pinch him to shut him up when I heard him mumble something, quietly as if to himself. That's right. As long as the princess is alive, Well, people have different outlooks on life. You might see it as happiness now, but... in my eyes, your lives are utterly boring. We're more than happy to let you have fun. Don't worry. It'll be easier to kill you once your brain goes numb from all of your activities. But love is a magnificent thing, far superior to an assassination that will never succeed, don't you think? It's a bit rich for a hedonistic demon like you to talk about love. I felt the steam rise from my head as Gardas taunted me. I could feel my temper rising, so I stood up and made to leave my seat, not wanting to ruin the banquet. Princess! Huh. Pleasure is one of life's necessities, you know. Ignoring Gardas, I grabbed Lizette by the collar and dragged him out of the room with me. Oh, leaving so soon? We were greeted by the cheerful voice of Kiria, the servant in charge of us. She was carrying a large plate of meat, undoubtedly another dish for the banquet. It must be tough for you too, Kiria, always getting ordered around by a whimsical lord? Oh no, not at all. He never orders us around. In fact, we servants wish he did it more often. He doesn't? Even though he's utterly self-centered? Well, it seems he's taken a liking to both of you. I've never seen him so cheerful. Cheerful? The word was so unfitting, I cringed. I thought of a cheerful Gardas, all bouncy and excited like a little boy, seemed utterly preposterous. Well, Lord Gardas is a healthy young man. He's at that age, you know. It's natural for him to mess around and get excited around girls. So you overheard us just now, huh? Kiria spoke of Gardas with an almost motherly affection. It made me want to ask how old she was, but that wasn't important right now. I'd grown attached to her over the last month or so, from just talking with her every morning. Knowing that she'd overheard me insulting the demon race made me feel awkward, and I couldn't look her in the eye. You say demons wouldn't understand love, but finding a race as passionate as ours would be a difficult task indeed. We would burn our bodies alive for the ones we love. I wonder if it's because of the strong desires our race holds. If we ever seriously fall in love with someone, we want to possess every fragment of their soul, their entire being. And because of that, losing someone we love is utterly devastating, just like Lord Gardas' mother, our previous ruler. His mother? Kiria gave me a somewhat lonely smile. Yes, his mother fell in love with a human, and together they had Lord Gardas. However, Lord Gardas' father insisted on living his life as a normal human, so they never made a contact. In the end, Lord Gardas' mother was forced to watch his short life come to an end, unable to do anything. The pain became too much for her, so she chose to leave this world and follow him. As I listened, I slowly came to realize why Gardas' words had been so full of pride. I'm sure he never saw his mother's death as tragic but noble. He must have respected her for going that far for the one she loved. Love, huh? But if that was true, then why didn't he act like that? Why did his actions contradict his words? Like when he kissed that woman earlier. I lightly shook my head, feeling oddly miserable for imagining the woman in Gardas. What he did with other women had nothing to do with me anyway. I knew that, but why was I getting worked up over it? Gardas' words still echoed in my mind, and they wouldn't leave no matter what I did. It was starting to seriously annoy me. It's probably because I hate him so much. Yes, that has to be it. Why else would I care about what he does so much? With that rage-inducing matter in mind, I let out a deep sigh. You've really grown, you know. I said that with a deep admiration, gazing at his back as the evening sun shone against it. What? You were still a teenager when we first met, weren't you? You were around the same height back then. How could you do that to me? Grow that tall in 3 years right under my nose? Why are you getting angry over that? I feel like I'm being left behind. I want to be as tall as you know. You're fine just the way you are, princess. I mean, please maintain your current height. But it's not helping things. No wonder Gardas keeps treating me like a brat. I drink milk every day too, so why aren't I getting any taller? I grumbled to myself as I jogged ahead, overtaking Lizette. It's only natural that I have to be taller than you, princess. I need to be your shield, remember? But I want to become your shield too! How unbalanced. This isn't fair. I heard Lizette laugh behind me as I continued grumbling. You're laughing at me! No, I'm not laughing at you. I was just reminded of something from way back. What is it? The day I first met you, Princess. Oh, that day, huh? Yeah, that day. Look out! I'm sorry you had to help me, but you're pretty good actually. What's your name? I'm Lizette. Huh! Lizette, huh? Okay, Lizette, you watch my back from now on. Understood. I, Lizette, will put my life on the line and watch your back, Princess. Yes, now that you mention it, that was the first time we spoke to one another, too. After that, you did just as I asked and watched my back the whole time, and because of that, I feel safe leaving myself in your hands. I did say that I'd put my life on the line, and actually Lizette's voice shrunk for an instant, the sound of our footsteps drowning him out. To me, too. It sounded like he didn't want to finish his sentence. I stopped walking and turned around, eager to hear what he actually said. Sorry, your voice was too quiet. What were you saying? Don't worry, it's nothing. I tilted my head and inquired some more, but Lizette just smiled and wouldn't tell me. But still, he had a happy expression on his face, so I didn't pursue it further. And that's when I realized it. If I wanted to see Lizette's face properly, I had to raise my head and look up. You really aren't a teenager anymore, are you? The thought made me feel somewhat lonely, but it made me feel happy too. What an odd feeling. As we kept walking, I glanced down towards Lizette's shadow and found myself thinking about how big it was compared to mine. Alright, time to go to the pub. What's going on here? Oh, Lady Christina, you came too. Only because of all the noise. I could hear it from outside, you know. I told you to stop making fun of me. Isn't that... My, they really are making a racket. Oh no. Haha, come on. Don't be so uptight. Have some more. I'd never accept wine from a demon lord. No fighting allowed in this pub, sir. Ooh. Hear that or hear what he said? Cheer up. I wouldn't put poison in wine as good as this. It'd be your loss if you don't enjoy yourself, since you're already here. What do you mean, since I'm already here? You're the one that dragged me over here. Then I'll bring the princess along instead. No, anything but that. As loyal as ever. That's exactly why I dragged you along instead. I don't know what you're planning here, but I won't let you trick me, you hear? Don't be like that, come on. I just want a friend to accompany me for a drink. Tell you what, since you seem so unsatisfied, how about we trade? Have a sip, and I'll tell you a secret only demons know. Really? Are you serious? Very. He's in a good mood. What bad taste! He's just teasing poor Lizette. I can't deny that, but he has taken quite a liking to the pair of you. I don't think that's something to be happy about. My apologies then. Really? Hey, Lizette! Yes? How long have you been drinking here for? Oh, not long. What? JIN'S here too. Lord Gardas, did you come here to drink alcohol? On a workday of all days. The paperwork back at your office is piled up so high it might crush you if you don't get started soon. Come on, don't be a killjoy. Why not join me for a drink too? The other civil servants were practically in tears, begging me to bring you back. I still have a lot of work to do, so no, I can't join you for a drink. Oh, that's a shame. If you've still got work to do, shouldn't you be heading back? What kind of man do you think I am? Meager chores like paperwork take a matter of minutes for me, and since Chris came all the way here too, let's sit back and enjoy ourselves. Uh-huh! Hey, Gardas, don't touch the princess's hand! I can't hear you. You? Like I said, no fighting in my pub, please. Oh dear, nobody's afraid of the Demon Lord these days. And back to the pub. Oh, that was so close. So bloody close. Now, Dr. Samil, you're drinking too much. I'll drink as much as I want. I was one whole step away from curing Gerard fever. Then the higher-ups said my contract was expiring and they weren't gonna finance my research anymore. Now I can't buy the materials I need for the medicine. What were the materials again? They were 4-colored coal, holy water, demon killer wine, tears of the sun god, and tears of the moon goddess. Oh, you could get the 4-colored coal by helping out at the theater. Oh, actually, their performance was cancelled after the Lunaria festival incident. Ugh, I wish the ingredients would just fall from the sky! And 1 tip was added to the hints page. A whole day goes by so quickly. I should go to bed. Death Ride, 3rd month. I'm bored. Yeah, we're gonna skip the scene. Okay, bye! You can be bored by yourself. So tomorrow's the day off in the Demon Kingdom, huh? Oh, I should go to sleep. Here we go. Sorry, Lizette. Just for today. Go by yourself. Could you leave me be? Of course, but if anything happens, don't hesitate to find me. Thank you. The roses are always in full bloom whenever I visit this garden. I wonder if they're using a special kind of fertilizer. Oh, Lady Christina, are you taking a walk? I didn't expect to see you here, Jin. Do you come here often? Yes, my sister's buried here, you see. Oh. He was pointing towards a small, beautifully carved white gravestone. I would have easily missed it for a garden ornament had he not pointed it out. When did it happen? Around 10 years ago. She was only in her first form at the time. Did she get ill? No, I killed her. You? I killed my own sister. I wanted to ask what happened, but the painful expression on his face made me think again. I fell into silence instead. He probably had a good reason not to tell me, and I shouldn't meddle. It was undoubtedly a difficult subject for him. Otherwise, he wouldn't have tried to drive me away by saying he killed her. His face, which always seemed to have a smile on it, was now clouded with sadness. As the evening sunlight brushed against his cheeks, I found myself thinking about how different people could be to their usual demeanor. Alright, let's go to the pub. Welcome. Drink wine and chat. That man over there! What about him? Do some demons look similar to humans? Of course, the demon's home, the world of darkness, changed their rules to stop pure-blooded demons coming to the world of light. As a result, the blood of the moon goddess is thinning in the world of light. Some demons look exactly like humans, or more accurately, are almost human themselves. Almost human? At the moment, anyone who inherits the blood of demons is referred to as a demon, but only a few centuries ago, demons of mixed blood were referred to as half-bloods. As the number of demons decreased, so did the chances of seeing a pure-blooded demon out and about. Before we knew it, even halves like me were being referred to as demons. I suppose being generalized was like a blessing to us, to half-bloods and pure-blooded demons. Or to half-bloods, a pure-blooded demon is someone to respect and admire. I'll come again soon. See you then. And now we go to the courtyard. Really now, I can't believe I came all this way just to find it sold out. Cheer up, your majesty. I'm sure we'll find another place that sells that Viagra power, caffeine drink you love. No, this is the only place in Deathride that sells it. Oh well, I'll just have to pop in some other time. 2 tips were added. That's more than enough fencing practice for tonight. Prepare yourself, Gardas. Huh? What's that? Try saying that again. I only asked if your loyalty has weakened, that's all. Ugh, that pisses me off too, but I was referring to what you said earlier. Earlier? I don't remember saying anything controversial. Why are you acting weird all of a sudden? I told you before, didn't I? If you hesitate, you're just... What are you two talking about? Huh? Princess? Chris? It must be something big if you 2 grown men are shouting like children over it. How undignified. But Princess... She's right. Our quarrel ends here. I don't like little yappy dogs anyway. You? Wait, Gardas! You've been warned. Don't forget it. Hey, what were you 2 arguing about? Oh, nothing. Nothing at all? Princess, No, it's nothing. I'm sorry. Seriously, why am I wasting my time arguing with him? I need to go cool down for a bit. Lizette, wait! What on earth were they talking about? A whole day goes by so quickly. I should go to bed. Deathride, 4th month. And we are gonna skip the scene. So tomorrow's the day off in the Demon Kingdom, huh? I should go to sleep. Again, if you want to see all of those scenes that I'm skipping, I did a whole playthrough with all of those scenes in my first playthrough of Gardas. Okay, what should I do tonight? We are gonna go out to the pub. Did you come for a drink too? You're the most laid-back king I've ever met. You could easily hold a huge feast in your castle and invite every girl in the land if you wanted to. Why come here instead? I'm not really attracted to any of those women, so it just causes problems. Maybe it's because a certain silver-haired maiden caught my eye. Are you drunk? Yeah, I am. Drunken by your beauty, that is. How could you keep coming up with such embarrassing things to say? Well, unfortunately for you, I'm not the type of woman who goes weak at the knees the moment she hears something mushy. Then what should I say? What will make you happy? Go flirt with some other woman if you're that bored. I'm not. I'm just sad that the woman I love is being so cold. Get away from me, you idiot! People are staring at us! But I'm not going to touch you. I just want to get closer to you and look into your eyes. Now I feel like drinking, or now I don't feel like drinking anymore. I can help with that. I'll use my mouth. Gardas, you pervert! Idiot! I don't care anymore! Chris? I can't tell if he's serious or not. Alright, go to the castle. Whoa! I'm sorry, the books were in the way. Why are you carrying so many books? You should ask someone for help. Haha, I don't have time for that. If there's something I want to do, I have to do it immediately, you see. Can't stop. Why don't I give you a hand then? Are you sure? Of course. You're heading for your room, right? That's right. Here we go. Here's half of them. Now, Jin. I hope you're not saying all that to seduce Chris. Oh, it's just Gardas. Don't say something like that after popping out of nowhere. I'd be careful if I were you. He might look sweet and honest, but inside he's a wild beast more ferocious than I'll ever be. How cruel of you, Your Majesty. At least I never slack off and go to the brothel during office hours. That's completely different. What are you even talking about, you two? Come on, Jin. The light will set before Gardas finishes his topic. Wait, I'm worried about your personal safety, you know. Can't you have more faith in me? You'd sleep with an old hag if it meant saving me or my kingdom. I dread to think what you do to a girl who you actually like. A girl he actually likes? I think Gardas has the wrong end of the stick here. How many documents would you like added to today's pile, Your Majesty? That's a really scary smile. You coward. Do you really think a threat like that will change my mind? I guess I have no choice. I don't have much time, Your Majesty, so why don't you lend us a hand? I'm sure you're fine with that, aren't you? Fine. He doesn't look fine with it if you ask me. I kept that thought to myself, but I still felt impressed by Jin's daring. There weren't many people in the castle who'd ask the Demon Lord to do something like that. I suppose you're the strongest person here, Jin, in a way. Huh? Oh, nothing. After that, an argument broke out over who would leave Jin's room first. You first, Your Majesty. I'd never leave you alone in a room with Chris. The last thing I saw as I left the room was Jin's deadly smile placed happily on his face. Dang, Jin! I looked at the city from my window and let out a small sigh. Did things look different depending on your mood? When I first came here, the city felt so dark and ominous, but now it looked beautiful and grand. It was approaching dinner time, and smoke was floating out of the chimneys around the residential area. Every single one of those roofs had someone living underneath, living their daily life in peace. For some reason, that thought made me happy. And as I continued to enjoy the view, I heard someone knock on my door. Curious, I turned around. I asked them to come in, expecting it to be Kadia, but... Excuse me, Your Highness. You are... It was a woman I'd never seen before. Was Kadia too busy to come today? Maybe she'd ask someone to replace her without telling me. The woman had her head bowed and wore a thick hood, looking utterly unlike anyone I'd seen in the castle. Feeling somewhat suspicious, I got up and approached her. Your Highness, I have brought a letter from Our Majesty. Our? Don't tell me your... Please keep your voice down, Your Highness. I came alone and would like to avoid any meaningless bloodshed. Are you here to kill me because I failed? No, my purpose is to deliver this. This? I took the envelope from the woman and looked up, intending to ask her what was inside, but the woman had already vanished. She really had been ordered to just deliver a letter. Bewildered, I nervously cut the seal and slipped out its contents. Each page was covered with familiar handwriting. To my beloved daughter, Christina. Yes, this was my mother's handwriting, without a doubt. My heart thumped, anticipation and unease mixing in my chest. No matter how severe my mother's words will be, I'll keep reading and accept them without complaint. With that thought in mind, I gulped and began to read. To my beloved daughter, Christina. To my beloved daughter, Christina, ever since you began your journey over 4 months ago, not a day has passed without your absence passing through my mind, and I am constantly reminded of just how much I miss you. After I received word of your imprisonment, I found myself sick with worry. I fear you must be suffering dearly. Mother! I hadn't seen Mother's handwriting in a long time. It touched my heart and warmed my chest. But at the same time, it made me feel guilty, reminding me of my failure. I didn't want to kill Gardas anymore, but I didn't want to go against my duty either. I was caught between a rock and a hard place, as though I was suffocating. I wondered if the whole letter was going to be about Mother's laments, but when I turned to the next page... Huh? My body froze as though a bucket of cold water had been tipped over me. However, with a trembling voice, I continued to read Mother's handwriting. However, as the Queen, I must order you. If you have any pride remaining as a daughter of the royal family, please die with honor rather than live in humiliation. I was only halfway through, but the letter fell from my frozen hands. My mother had just told me to end my life. She hadn't mentioned it with any reason specifically, but I understood why she'd asked. If I was used as a hostage when the Alliance army attacked, things would go bad to worse. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that was quite popular with the subjects of Almaden, and with subjects of other countries too, thanks to my campaigns against demon kingdoms far away from my own. If Mother had to abandon me and go ahead with the attack, her reputation around the world would plummet. So in her eyes, I was better off dead than a prisoner. Announcing that our princess risked her life for the sake of the world, but tragically fell into the hands of the Demon Lord, would surely rouse up enough morale to give Almaden and its allies a huge boost when they went to war. Mother! Maybe somewhere deep inside me, I knew a day like this would come. A day when my mother would abandon me for the greater good. But now that it'd finally come, it was far more painful than I'd ever imagined. I felt as if my heart had been shattered. I clinged onto my mother's love for far more than I realized, and the tears wouldn't stop rolling down my cheeks. A light breeze drifted into the room, making my hair flutter. With empty eyes, I looked towards the window. With trembling legs, I mindlessly began to walk towards the window, my mind barely registering anything. I can't go home anymore. I've lost. The night wind felt cold against my tear-stained cheeks. I could see little spots of bright lights from the streets below. They glittered as if inviting me, so I lifted my leg over the windowsill. Help me! Eh? Even though I was plummeting to the ground, my mind was perfectly clear. The shock and sorrow that had clouded my mind only moments before was quickly fading away, allowing me to finally fully grasp the situation. Help me! Someone's voice cried into my ears as I fell. It was louder than the howling wind and brighter than the passing townscape. Please! Again, someone was calling out to me. Isn't that... Princess! Whose voice was that? Princess! A dream? A luxurious red room and a bed big enough to swallow someone. None of it looked familiar, but my instinct told me I'd been here before. Are you all right, Princess? You looked like you were having a bad dream. A dream? But it all felt so real. How could it be a dream? Were you having a bad dream? Yeah, a really odd dream. It's probably because I'm still nervous. I'm not surprised. This isn't the most comforting place to rest after all. This had to be a coincidence. I couldn't possibly feel nostalgic for this room. It had to be a delusion of some kind. The fact that Lizette's words just now were identical to what he said in my dream must have been down to chance. It's a pretty normal thing to say if you're concerned about someone, after all. And I'm the champion sent to defeat the Demon Lord. But I jumped out the window! I trembled, recalling how it felt to plummet through the night air. But that was all a dream, wasn't it? So why? Good morning! The door suddenly swung open and my eyes fixed themselves on the figure coming in. My body suddenly acted on its own. Kiria? Huh? But that is all the time that I have for this episode, guys. So if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up down below. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I love you guys so much and I will see you next time. Bye!